Sorry, can we start that again? See, other South Sydney is gone. Can we start that question again? Can you ask me again? I'd use that as a bloopers. Damn. Hi, I'm Luke Carroll, and this is my South Sydney story. Yeah, well, I'm an actor, an MC. I've been acting since I was 9 years of age. So this year, 2018, is 30 years since I've been in the industry. Started out as a kid and did a lot of TV shows as a child actor, and then that continued on into my adulthood, and it's continued ever since. And I've been lucky enough to be consistently working, touch wood. But yeah, actor, and now I MC big awards events, the NAIDOC Awards, that happens every year during NAIDOC week. The Deadly Awards, which were at the Opera House a couple of years back, it's finished up now, and now the Dreamtime Awards, which happens at the end of the year. Mate, that was my absolute passion, to become a regular, a first grade rugby league player first and foremost, but it was for the Rabbitohs. You know, I'm a staunch Rabbitohs supporter. That was my dream. I grew up playing a lot of sport in Woolloomooloo. I grew up in Woolloomooloo, down in the city suburb there, next to the cross, and just loved playing sport. The suburb itself, we had a basketball court in the middle of the suburb where all the kids would come after school. There'd be a game of touch footy, or a game of basketball, a game of tennis, cricket. If it was cricket season, summer, we'd be playing cricket. So yeah, it was a great place to grow up, and we all sort of come from not much at all. It was a pretty low socio-economic area, housing commission area, but we made the most of what we had. And rugby league was a big thing. Two players from the area, Shannon Donato and Jim Dimmick, both South Sydney juniors. Went on to bigger and better things, which I always dreamed of doing, but it never happened. But yeah, always dreamed of playing first grade. My mother, I think, is the biggest influence of why I am a Rabbitohs supporter. She was a Rabbitohs supporter herself, and I'm pretty sure she made sure that I followed in her footsteps. Loves the Rabbitohs, loves the bunny. She, you know, she had the bunny teddy bears around her bed when up in the hospital before she passed away, unfortunately. Willie Peters, who's on the coaching staff, good mate of mine, got the boys to send some condolences through video messages, which was absolutely fantastic, and Mum's eyes lit up. It was a great thing for Willie to be able to do that for me. Cody Walker was a great mate of mine, made a special trip up to the hospital bed to visit Mum personally, which I would never forget that. It's pretty emotional talking about it, but yeah, I'll never forget what Cody did for me.
Do you know who that is? Hello, Anne, how are you?
Hello, baby.
Hello.
How are you?
I heard you watched the game last night.
A whole lot.
A whole lot. How good was that?
Too diddly.
We're up top now.
That's it, babe.
And what the boys did for my mum especially. And Shannon Donato, my mate who works for the Rabbitohs now, he's during Indigenous round this year. It was also Mother's Day, and Mum's a pretty well respected elder in the community. So Shannon asked if I could come and talk about my story up in the Churchill's room and up in some of the function areas during the game day where we played St George Illawarra Dragons and we beat them. So I went along and I dragged Mum along, and she wasn't too keen on coming along because that was when she sort of was starting to feel sick. But she came along, I convinced her, and it was the first game she'd seen live since 1984 here at Redfern Oval. So for me, it was a big thrill to get Mum there, and 34 years later to see her first live Rabbitohs game. Second time the ANZ Stadium. I took Mum to the Kathy Freeman race, the 400 metre final during the Olympic Games, which was an amazing experience for both of us and the country. And Mum, Shannon organised for Mum to come down into the dressing rooms to meet the boys, and Mum would never forget it. She raved about it for days on end, and we got photos with some of the players, and all the boys were fantastic with their time with her, and yeah, it was just something I will never forget. And I thank the club and Shannon and Willie and Cody and all the players for giving Mum that time, special time before she passed. There's a big hole left, Mum's passing, but she made a fantastic contribution to the people of the area, especially the kids and the students in education. Well, I think a big reason I am a Rabbitohs supporter, and my mum was, because of the connection to the community. Being based here in Redfern, Redfern is known as the Black Capital of Australia, the first Aboriginal medical service, legal service. A lot of organisations started out here. Obviously the block big Aboriginal community. It's no longer standing, but hopefully the community does come back. But we do have Waterloo community here, a lot of Aboriginal people in the area. The connection of all the players, like Eric Sims, the Longbottom, George Longbottom, good mate of mine, and Bruce Longbottom, Graham Lyons, back in the day when I was growing up, watching those guys play, Darryl Trindle, and the players, like I mentioned, Nathan Merritt, Cody Walker, Braden Burns, young bloke coming through, GI of course, so great connection with the area. South Cares do some great work within the community. I've been lucky to witness that firsthand. I'm lucky enough to MC South Cares NAIDOC Day. I did it this year, I did it in 2017, and just to see the community come together, breaking down boundaries. But the area's always had a great connection to the Indigenous community, and so has the club. My most fondest memory, of course, would be the 2014 Grand Final. I was devastated I couldn't make it. I was on stage up in Brisbane doing a play on the day, and we finished at about 5 p.m. But 5 p.m. Queensland time was 6 p.m. Sydney time with daylight saving. So I wanted to come back and at least celebrate the win, well, hopeful of the win at the time. So I booked a flight, got to the airport, watched the first half at the gate, and then I flew back to Sydney, arrived and found out that we won, and I ran through the the terminal with my jersey on, my hat, my scarf, just screaming out, yes, 43 years, it's been a long time waiting. So I went and met up with the boys at South Students and celebrated with them all there, and when I got home I watched a replay of the game. I seriously broke down in tears. It was a pretty proud moment, so that's a moment I'll never forget. It's a long time coming, and I'm glad that I was able to be alive to witness a grand final by the Rabbitohs. So I've got a 17-year-old boy, Marley, and a 4-year-old boy, Enzo. Both I've converted them early on in their lives. They love the Rabbitohs. I was lucky enough to get my oldest boy, Marley, into the dressing rooms after South beat Broncos up in Suncorp a few years back. Russell Crowe was in the dressing room, and Nathan introduced me to him and his son, so that was a big thrill for myself, being an actor and a Rabbitohs man, and Rusty also living in Woolloomooloo. That's where I grew up, so we've got a lot in common, Rusty. We have to catch up for a coffee, mate, talk some business. And now my younger boy, I've converted him and... Go Rabbitohs! Go to Rabbitohs! Got to take him to a game yet. He's too scared. He's scared of the noise around the stadium, so I'll take him when he's a bit older, but hopefully next year. Hi, I'm Luke, and I think you know who this is. It's Jemima. Jemima is about to go on another big adventure. Can you guess where we might be going today?
Finally, you work on Play School on the ABC. Is it Big Ted or Reggie Rabbit?
Mate, cool. That's tough, mate. Big Ted or Reggie the Rabbit? Jeez. Oh, mate, Reggie's been around for a while, so I have to go Reggie. I've only been on Play School for 8 years. I've been a Rabbitoh supporter for 39 years, so Reggie Rabbit all day, and yeah. I remember coming to Redfern Oval, watching Reggie Rabbit run around as a kid, and now see him at the ANZ Stadium. It's great that tradition's continued on as well, and the club is as strong as it is, and it's so good to see going forward. I'm very proud to be a Rabbitohs supporter, and I will be to the day I die. South Sydney till I die.